Oh boy. We've been busy, haven't we? Forgive me for my mic settings, by the way. I've been trying to adjust it and get everything back. I'm getting sick of it being in my face. I'm like hunched over like I'm in Notre Dame. Just hello guys, CliffBeats no script off the rip here. Main point of this video is this. I'm gonna pull it up right now for you, alright? So let me just get my ugly mug out of the way. I'm sure you guys have already seen this on Instagram, but if not, boom. This is on Eminem's Instagram page. It says for all contacts, Friday, May 31st at 12 a.m. and for my last trick. Now you can see my comment here saying I've already had 6 heart attacks in a month, which is probably true. I need to go see my doctor as soon as I possibly can. Um, Let me keep that up actually, but as a smaller picture because I don't want to look at my ugly mug. All right. Now, I'm going to give you what I think's going to happen with this album and what I predict here. And I could be completely wrong. I'm going off of what I'm hearing, but listen, you got to understand something. With Shady Aftermath, it is a sealed vault. Nobody knows anything really besides Eminem and Dre. You really don't get any information. Now, do I have people in the music industry that have been telling me things? Yes, 100%. I was under the impression initially that the album is supposed to drop 6/14. I kept hearing June 14th. Then, I don't know where, I see May 31st. And of course, he changes it to the Rabbit, aka B Rabbit, 8 Mile. It makes me think, and this is for his last trick, by the way. So let's address this. Do I feel that this is going to be Eminem's last album? I do. All signs point towards it, and it only makes sense to me. Look, guys, let's face facts. Eminem is 51 years old, and he looks great for 51. Looks better than me. He looks like he's fucking 30. Um, his daughter just got married. Congratulations to Haley and her husband and the whole Mathers family. Um, and the name of the title, Death to Slim Shady Coup de Gras, aka Final Blow. It seems like this is going to be the end or the last album that Eminem releases as a full album. To me personally. Now, here's one thing I want you to understand too as an artist. It is very hard to retire. It is very hard to give up. So what I suspect is one hell of an outro, and I think that you're going to see something of a passing of a torch. And I'm going to elaborate in a little bit. I think this is it. I think this is the final album. You don't have to agree with me. This is just my opinion going into this. I can be completely wrong, but it only makes sense. I've seen recently that Eminem was also in the obituary. I could pull that up. You see Slim Shady obituary in case you guys didn't see that. So he had it posted. A fake obituary. I don't want nothing. What do you mean? I know I only see Alice. What? So it said, read the full text of Eminem's mock obituary for Slim Shady. So there was a fake obituary declaring the sudden and horrific death of Detroit rapper Slim Shady character that ran on page 3B in that day's sports section. So I can't really read it right here because they kind of have it minimized, but it says a product of Detroit who began his career there as a rogue splinter in the flourishing underground rap scenes of the mid 1990s. The 1990s, to be able to be at the top of the mountain for that long, you're pushing 3 decades, dude. That's insane, man. Shout out to Eminem. Um, Shady first became a household name in 1999 with the debut of his playful deranged single "My Name Is," which, along with his uniquely eye-catching video, exposed the young artist and his lyrics to a wider audience. That audience was soon exposed to the extreme darkness of the music I can't read that. Oh, of the Muse slash rapper, as he led millions of music fans down a road that glorified a demonstrably nihilistic worldview. I like the wording here. Ultimately, the very thing that seemed to be the tools he used to become his calling card that defined an existence that can only come to a sudden horrific end. His complex and tortured existence has come to a close. Complex and tortured existence has come to a close. And the legacy he leaves behind is no closer to resolution than the manner in which his character departed this world. May he truly find peace in the afterlife that he could not find on earth. This was in Detroit's newspaper. Oh, it's right here. Of course, they put it right here in big bold letters, and I would miss it. But since I do these videos off the cuff, I fuck up like that. Now, this is what I'm expecting from this album. I'm expecting some features, especially from Detroit rappers. I do see that happening. And I think he's going to do something to keep this album fresh. And what I mean by that is he recently signed an artist named Easy Mill, who I'm a huge fan of. I think he's very dope. Um, and he has an alter ego as well. And his alter ego is called Slashy. I can pull that up for you as well. Let me do that really quick. I should have had this all prepared for you, but we do this off the cuff. Easy Mill Slashy, which I think he kind of built this image off of Eminem, which only makes sense. I always think you should have some type of alter ego. I mean, you can see them together right here in this picture. Here's Easy Mill, here's Dre and Eminem. And think about it. What did Dr. Dre do once he signed Eminem? He kind of took a back seat, went straight into production, and only did little features here and there, which is kind of where I see Eminem taking his career after this album. Now, I could be wrong. If Eminem gets the itch and wants to drop an album the following year, say people start dissing him and he wants to just start going out, but I don't. Here's the thing with Eminem, dude. He does something called concept albums, which is almost like a forgotten art. Not a lot of people do them anymore. They give you a bunch of singles and then they kind of just let the album play out. Eminem will still give you skits. I mean, even with the recent trailer he gave you, it was like a cold case file. You know what I'm saying? Like a news reporting, which is something he's always done with like public service announcements, stuff like that. But me personally, I think this man right here, Easy Mill, I think Eminem is going to be passing the torch to Easy Mill, aka Slashy. And I think he's going to end up because, like, look, if you go look at Easy Mill's catalog, go listen to his music. He is a phenomenal artist. One, amazing rapper. Uh, and what I mean, he's not just an amazing rapper, a very unique rapper. It's almost eerily similar to Eminem, but here's the crazy thing is he's a hybrid. He can sing, he can dance. Like it's like Drake on steroids, and he's still a young man. How old is Easy Mill? Pull this up really quick. Hold up. I have 30 tabs. How old? He can't. He's got to be like what, 23, 25 years old. 25-year-old cat. Eminem, I think, got signed at 26 years old. To me, it seems fitting. If you're going to bow out, you want someone to kind of take that torch from you. Easy Mill blew up in 2021. This is when I started my channel, and he took the entire YouTube by storm. I mean, everyone was reacting to his album Act One. I think the other album was Resonance, but I think that might even released before Act One. I could be completely wrong. Forgive me. I'm going back on something that was 3 years ago when I started this channel. It makes sense to me to pass the torch to somebody. You're seeing Cliff Inception here. To pass the torch to somebody that is very similar to yourself. We don't know the relationship that they have right now, besides that they're working together. And recently, if you look at Easy Mill, here's another thing I want to show you. If you look at Easy Mill recent picture, and I got nothing but love for the dude. We've spoken here and there. I've talked to his mom. He's a wonderful dude. kind. His family sweet. His mom was a sweetheart to me and very respectful, and because people were giving Easy Mill a hard time because he signed his deal, and reactors got a little bit upset because they can no longer monetize. And I said, look, if you're in this just to monetize, like you've got this backwards. You should be focusing on promoting these artists and hoping they do well. And if they let you monetize, they let you monetize. If they don't, they don't. Whatever. You support who you like. You know what I'm saying? You push these artists because you are a fan. You don't have to do anything on your channel, obviously. But recently, I can't find it. Easy Mill dyed his hair like straight blonde. And I'm trying to find a picture of it, but he dyed his hair. I mean, it looked like Eminem. So it looks like he was shooting a video recently, possibly for Eminem. So I can't find it anywhere, but it was very similar to this. I wish I could. 2024. All right, I can't find shit. I give up. All right, failure, epic failure on Cliff's part. Um, I think it's going to be a passing of the torch. I can see the album even playing out with a concept like who was it that killed Slim Shady? Almost like a game of Clue. So we just had Music to Be Murdered By, right? And then Music to Be Murdered By side B, and now the death of Slim Shady. I even said, look, with Music to Be Murdered By, Music to Be Murdered By side B, that's a perfect way to bow out of the game. Saying I've murdered everybody with my music. I mean, he with Kamikaze, people didn't like Revival. I liked Revival. With Kamikaze, and then Music to Be Murdered By, and Music to Be Murdered By side B, he pretty much, dude, trap rap has been struggling ever since. I'm not saying like it's completely decimated, but if you go look at the numbers, they're not producing what they were. In fact, lyricism has been coming back more so now than ever. I mean, even on hip or even on YouTube, you just had two of the biggest reactors going head to head. I mean, right now, lyricism is at the forefront of hip hop. Then we also just had Kendrick and Drake right before that. So I haven't slept in like 2 weeks. So everything I'm saying right now, I could be in a dream right now and I'm just making fucking videos because I do have dreams where I'm making videos. But I'm straying away. My final prediction is this: the death of Slim Shady, coup de grace, is the final blow. This will be the end of Slim Shady, which was the character that got him in the door. Infinite was an amazing album. It got a little bit of he got a little bit of criticism for it for sounding like AZ and Nas at that time. But I mean, if you really go back and listen to Infinite, Infinite is going to be infinitely remembered. And in my mind, I put that album up there with the best of M's. And that was when Eminem was still trying to find like his his voice, his that chip on his shoulder to really burst through the music scene because you gotta understand, like as a white artist too, you gotta kick that fucking door down. You really gotta put a stamp on it. Just bang, like I belong here. You're gonna respect me for my skill. And with Infinite, you could respect the skill, but it didn't really put the fear in the hearts of other competitors. And hip hop is a culture where you want to be competitive. He definitely did that. I mean, to this day, even other artists will go like, "Yo, you don't want a war with Eminem. This dude's absolutely insane. It's not just one diss track. He will obliterate you." I mean, we've seen it happen before where he puts out one diss track, one person completely switches genres and starts having panic attacks and wearing corsets. So, then we've seen him completely wipe out the holy Bible for hip hop, which is where everybody went to go get their information and get ratings on albums, decimated it. Um, by the way, somebody sent me a bunch of emails like leaking Benzino's phone records and shit. Yeah, it's weird. It's got stuff involving like underage stuff and some other really Other really disturbing things, but I'm not gonna make a video on it. I don't think he doesn't deserve any shine. Um, but that is how powerful M is. But as much as myself and I'm sure you would love to see Eminem continue and make albums until he's 70, as he once said, I'll be hopping on stage until I'm fucking Madonna's age, or hobbling across stage until I'm fucking Madonna's age. Nobody's gonna want to see that. The man's gonna. I'm not gonna say he needs a break. I'm sure he knows exactly what he needs, but there's not much room left to paint on that canvas. Eminem has created so many things and ideas for other artists to kind of hop on. If you notice throughout the years, over the last 20 years, people have made songs very similar to Eminem or have even gotten their cadences to be damn near identical, even though they have a different voice. So Eminem has played a huge influence on hip hop. I mean, just go listen to Kendrick Lamar talk about Eminem, Drake talk about Eminem, J. Cole talk about Eminem. I'm talking about all the greats in the game. Um, he's had such an impact, even on me as a writer. I have to steer very clear of Eminem's content because I'm sure when he drops the album, which I think is going to be May 31st, people are thinking it's a single. I'm thinking it's the full album at this point. I'm really thinking it's the full album May 31st. I don't think it's going to be a single. I could be wrong. It could be a single May 31st, leading for the album drop to be for the 14th. I think that would be the smarter move. But who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? I really think Eminem's just going to go all out, drop the album, and I think you're going to see him go out the same way that he went in. I think you're going to see Eminem of old, but more polished. And what I mean by that as well is he's got fresh faces in Shady Aftermath that he's studying and paying attention to. He knows what he's a student of hip hop. He knows what kids today are listening to, what they're into, how to get a rise out of people. I expect a lot of shock value bars, just like how he did with Doomsday, which was like a light little tap. It's like a tap towards Benzino. And look what kind of a frenzy that caused. I mean, we had ghostwriters, we had fucking leaked footage coming to me, we had, Knox Hill dissing Benzino on behalf of me, and Benzino insulting Knox Hill by saying, "Hey, I want to charge you a bunch of money," and basically talking shit to Knox. And Knox was like, "I'm not dealing with this fucking guy." Benzino tried to also do an interview with me, and I turned him down because uh, I probably would have lost my shit because I really just I hate when people pull the race card. It's just it's really old. Um, but yeah, man. We see the impact that Eminem has even when he just puts out a little YouTube short or a little video on Instagram. This is the highest selling hip hop artist of all time, and he's 51 years old with 3 diamond albums. There is nothing left to prove. I think he goes into this album completely decimating everybody in his path. But what I do think is that there's going to be a concept behind it, which is obviously the death of Slim Shady. Maybe in this he has a battle with his own alter ego, or he has a battle with someone like Slashy, aka Easy Mill. I don't know why, but I for some reason do see a feature with J. Cole or Kendrick. I could be off on that, but I've heard some things that they could be false. I don't know. But May 31st, it looks like we 100% have something. I will be on top of it. So you got to think about it like this: May 31st, it says May 31st, 12 a.m. So May 31st at 12 a.m. is going to be Friday. But if it's 12 a.m., that means he's going to drop it Thursday night going into Friday. You see what I'm saying? So that would be a Thursday night drop going into Friday, which would make my life a lot easier, to be honest with you. Because if I have to start reacting on Friday and then all of Friday, because here's what happens: if he drops the entire album, I'm gonna go from each single to single to single until the entire album's done. That's how I'm gonna rock with it. I'm trying to remember if with music to be murdered by, did he drop Darkness first and then the album, or was the whole album? I really don't recall. But I do know with Kamikaze, I'm pretty sure he dropped that all at once. I think Slim Shady, because remember Eminem always says too, like if I go down, I'm going down swinging. I'm thinking of old lyrics. Even when he says I'm about to pull the be rabbit up out of my hat, something something with the cowardly act. When he was talking about basically like kamikaze, you know what I'm saying, strapping a vest to himself and blowing everyone up on his way out. That's kind of what I see. I see him going for the jugular and really speaking his mind on everything in hip hop that he has been kind of held back from doing. Because you gotta understand something too. When you're in the public spotlight, like Eminem, and you have, I know Paul is his manager, and Dr. Dre is his, main producer and friend and shit. They're still gonna try to make sure that you don't cross the line with a lot of your lyrics. Um, that's why in that one song he's like, I'm pretty sure this time Paul and Dre won't tell me what not to say. I'm paraphrasing. So when you're making these albums, people be like, whoa, 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 that's too much. Like you might want to back down a little bit. I think we're gonna see the rawest, most vicious Eminem that we have ever seen. No, not Eminem, Slim Shady we have ever seen since 1997, 1998. I think you're gonna see a polished, more relaxed, but vicious. I mean sadistic and twisted, just coming at you from every angle and just really going for that coup de grace, the final blow on everybody in the music industry and how he truly feels about every little fucking topic. I think he goes all out. That is my final prediction. I think it will be Eminem's last album. Now, do I think he will continue with music? 100%. What I mean by that is, I think he'll still be on features. I think if somebody comes dissing him, that's well worth it. I'm sure he'll respond in that way, but I do see him working on production and building his brand and continuing on to build with Shady Aftermath. But I really do expect him to go all out. I really don't expect a lot of pop records. I expect him to go out underground the way that he came in. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't expect the recovery Eminem. I expect almost like I just don't give a fuck. Because when you're retiring, there's nothing left. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to worry about another album coming out or more revenues serve. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing to worry about. Like, your image is nothing. You don't have to pertain this image anymore. You don't have to keep that. You can go out saying whatever the fuck you want to say, and that's what I expect. I know it's a long drawn out video, but I wanted to give you my full thoughts and analysis on this. And like I said, I've heard different things from multiple people in the music industry, but at this point, I'm realizing a lot of shit's gossip. Some people have gotten a lot of things right, and some people have gotten a lot of things wrong. A lot of stuff I don't like to talk about. So here's a fun fact: the day that he dropped this, which I think was yesterday, I heard Eminem was dropping something May 31st, and I was like, "What? That doesn't make any sense." Sure enough, like 5 hours later, I see what he posts on Instagram, and I'm like, well, this person must be onto something. Um, I had somebody tell me a full album. I had somebody tell me just a single. I don't know what to expect, ladies and gentlemen, but I do expect May 31st at 12 a.m. for there to be a drop. I will be on top of it. I would love to have you there. It would be an honor. If you guys don't know, I started this channel doing Eminem reactions, and the main reason for that was because when I was a kid, the first CD that I got, I remember I didn't know who it was. I opened it, and all I could see was this big ass pill that was eating other pills, but it had like electricity in its eyes, and I was big time into drawing at that time too. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I popped it in, and for some reason, the first song that played on my Discman was "Brain Damage." brain damage. Ever since the day he was born, drugs is what they used to say I was on. Like, and it just stayed stuck in my head. And I listened to the entire album, and I was like, well, what the fuck is this? This is different than anything else that I've ever fucking heard in hip hop. And I was like, this is something that I fucking like. I fuck with. I really like. I like hearing the outlandish, crazy, multi syllabic rhyme scheming, and then also just the shock value bars that make people go, "What the fuck?" Like that. That's where I think this is going to go. And it would make sense to pass the torch to another Shady artist. And another reason why I feel this way too is because he signed Easy Mill a little while ago. He hasn't released anything since he's been signed to the label. So I think Easy's going to have a big impact on this album as well. I truly do. Um, it would make sense because Dre made M his protege, M to make Easy Mill his protege. That is my guess. It makes sense to me. I could be way off base. So, all in all, when you guys come back to this video, you could say, Cliff, you fucked up, you dumbass. Or you could say, damn, Cliff, you predicted some shit. But I expect myself to be somewhere in the middle with my predictions. I don't expect myself to be completely right, but that's the way that I see it playing out. But May 31st, I will be here to cover whatever the hell he drops. If it's a full album, I will be up all night with you guys. I will not go live because I want the album to get the full recognition it deserves. Every single song possible. You might see your boy cry his damn eyes out if this man fucking retires. I'll tell you that because um, the impact he's had on me and hip hop as a whole is like none other, you know? Um, and I don't know how to end the video better than that by saying like his impact on hip hop has been like no one else. So, on that note, I appreciate you guys tuning in, hearing my thoughts. May 31st, expect something, which is going to be a Thursday night going into Friday. I would love to see you there. Hit subscribe if you guys would like to tune in with me. I do break down bars, by the way. So what I typically do with my format is what I do. I'm learning this is I do my initial reaction, then in the same video I break down what I can. I just rewind it really quick and I break it down so the video is a little bit longer. So you can either watch the reaction part or you can go watch me try to dissect what I can. And when I say try, it's because it's Eminem. Um, you're not going to catch everything in one take unless you have completely gone and studied what this man said because he'll bring up names and situations that happened in like 1972 and I wasn't even a fucking thought. My mom was a baby. I'm saying so. Uh, but that's what genius writers do, and I expect nothing less. So, B Rabbit. Or does Eminem battle himself as B Rabbit? See, there's so many crazy ways he could play this. But who can kill Slim Shady? Himself, right? Is that what it said? Himself in the obituary? But this is where I always got confused. And I'm gonna end on this note because I don't want to ramble too much more. I remember hearing the song When I'm Gone in like 2005 or 2004. And that song brought a fucking tear to my eye. Because when I heard that, I already knew, like after the Eminem show, and I heard parts of Encore that that chip on his shoulder, whatever had that furnace going, whatever was building that fire, it was out. You know, I don't know if it was a mix of the drugs or the fame and the popularity, all that shit all at once. Dude, you gotta think about this. From 26 to 29, that man had 3 albums that fucking blew up. You see what I'm saying? Talking diamond albums here. Most artists don't even get diamond records. Man's got diamond albums. I lost my train of thought because I'm just thinking about the impact he's left on the game and how it's going to be devastating to watch him kind of walk away. But yeah, you might see a grown man come to tears if we see the ending of this. But I don't know how this plays out, but I do see him passing the torch. It only makes sense if Easy Mill should have already dropped something by now for being signed for that long, in my eyes, unless it's just taking a while. But I know Easy, I know he works hard and writes a lot, and it would we should have already seen an album in my eyes. But I think that we're going to see a passing of the torch, and I think Eminem goes completely all out. But enough on all that. I'm done rambling, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to give you an update. May 31st. Hit that damn subscribe button on Eminem's channel. I would love to have you too if you want to watch me break it down and do the reactions and the breakdowns at the same time. And it's been an honor. I'm always going to support Eminem's content. In fact, I'm probably going to go back and re-react. When I started this channel, like I said, I started with Eminem's Infinite, and I did this because of how important his music was to me. And when I got that shitty diagnosis, like doctors basically thought I had cancer. I'm still, you know, under blood work. I still got to get my blood work checked all the time. Um, I wanted to leave an impact behind and react to an artist that really changed the way I look at hip hop. You know, like Eminem introduced me to other artists like KRS-One, um, Rakim, because I'd always hear him paying homage to artists, and I'm like, who? And I would start digging. I start digging through the crates, and he put me on to all these artists. Even when he battled Cannabis, which led to me, listening to more LL Cool J and their battle and stuff like that. Um, yeah, man. So don't be surprised if you see a grown man crying. I'm about to cry right now, and I'm trying not to. But I wanted to talk about this. So May 31st, I'd love to have you like, subscribe. It would be an honor, and let's see what Eminem does. I think this is going to be one of the best albums that Eminem has dropped in a very long time. People have been asking for the old Eminem for a long time, right? Well, you kind of got that with Music to Be Murdered By and Music to Be Murdered By Side B, but I think he like really turns it up a notch and flames the shit out of everyone and everything. Even with his Doomsday Part 2, him just joking about Benzino sent this man into a fucking frenzy. That man went crazy attacking reactors and stands and fans and fucking himself. And that was just him telling jokes. But go back and listen to it. Listen to the cadences and how evil and diabolical that man sounded. So it sounds like he's gonna go. It sounds like he's gonna go so hard on everybody that he knows it could risk his image. But I don't think he gives a fuck because when he came in, I just don't give a fuck, and when he goes out, I just don't give a fuck. But all right, guys, I love you. Stay safe. I will see you very soon. Enough of my rambling. Those are my final thoughts. I think this is the passing of the torch. I think this is Eminem's last album. I think it's going to be one of his best albums yet to date. I think it is the death of Slim Shady, but we deserve to give this man all of his flowers. And I was saying earlier, when I'm gone, when he said, put the gun to my head and killed Shady and popped it, I knew something was up there. Because ever since then, Slim Shady was gone. You were listening to Marshall trying to find himself again, in which I think he found Eminem with Recovery, and then you started hearing little bits and pieces of Shady come through with Shady XV, the Marshall Mathers LP too. You heard Eminem with a mix of Slim Shady. Then with Kamikaze, you definitely heard Slim Shady. Music to Be Murdered By, you heard some Slim Shady, but I don't think we've heard the final version of Slim Shady. That's what I think we're getting. That's where I had that brain fog earlier. All right, guys, take care. I will talk to you guys very soon. We resume regular reactions. I'm done with the battles for now unless something pops up, but I don't see that happening, and I need a little bit of a break. I need to check out some new music. That's what this channel is about, is promoting artists. So, sure love to Eminem. I'd love to have you, and go take care of yourselves. I've said that 6 times now. Be safe, guys. What's your verdict? What do you think's gonna happen, man? Comment down below. Comment down below. If anybody has some inside knowledge too, definitely comment down below or DM me. Slide in my DMs. I love you guys. Go take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching.